Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot, and tonight we're going to try something pretty cool in Jurassic World Evolution, thanks to the recent 1.8 Summer update. I want to give a big shout out to Reply671 over on the Jurassic World Evolution subreddit. First of all, they seem to be the first person who discovered this. I'm not 100% sure, but that appears to be the case, so credit to them for discovering this, but now we need to do some science to verify it. And what we're going to test is whether the, I don't know why I did it as a test, is whether the natural scenery items, specifically the rocks, can contain a dinosaur. Can they keep a dinosaur in? Does it act like a fence? And therefore, will we be able to contain our dinosaurs in very natural looking exhibits? We're going to start with, we're going to try 3 different sized dinosaurs, getting harder and harder from Brachiosaurus right down to a small carnivore. And then we're going to see just how little fence we need to do this. Can we completely get rid of fences if we put rocks in the right place and stuff like that? I doubt it, but we're going to find out. So, first test. We have ourselves a happy little Brachiosaurus. Not giving them any food because we're going to want to use the food in a minute, but it has food, well, it has water, it's got just enough grassland, it's got just enough forest. Now, if I go ahead and kill this fence right here, pajonk, and we go back to the Brachie, what we should see, yes, you can see the grassland has jumped up massively because it's now scanning this entire area. The exhibit is much, much bigger, and therefore the Brachiosaurus is, you know, it's detecting all that grassland and therefore it's content. So, can we block just this little bit of fence in such a way that that grassland requirement drops back down, therefore suggesting the Brachiosaurus can't escape? I don't know if this is the... I feel like maybe the big chunky rocks are the right ones to go for. I don't know, maybe this though. I'll just put that there. This is optimistic, but you know what? The Brachiosaurus is a large dinosaur, and these rocks, they can't walk over the rocks, they don't walk through the rocks. So the Brachiosaurus isn't going to get through that gap, it's not going to get through that gap. Let's have a little look. It's dropped back, that's amazing! It's actually dropped back down. So, one thing I wanted to do to test this was, if we put a feeder in, if we get a tall herbivore feeder, stick that there. Now, there's no food in this exhibit. If the Brachiosaurus wants to eat, which it very much does, it's going to have to walk out of the exhibit. There's no alternative. It has to walk over here and eat past the rocks. Okay, that took bloody ages. Brachiosaurus is now walking, and this is its run speed, by the way, towards the food. It's spotted the gap, it's going for it. I'm going to put the rock back in. See what happens. It's already stopped. Okay, it's not there. Come on, Brachie, you're hungry. I'm a little worried that it just saw me contemplating putting the rock down and decided to pass on the idea. It's very hungry. Yeah, it's right, it's going for it. Okay, right, I want to get it really close and then we're going to put it down. Closer. It's a little bit risky. Right, go. It works. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. It works. It definitely works. Right. I'm going to pull the Brachie away. Actually, tell you what, easy way to do it. Yeah, we'll just pull the Brachie away for a second. We'll delete the feeder. And we're gonna try extending the length of this. How much, you know, how big a gap in the fence can we have? Can we, in theory, do an entire exhibit for the Brachiosaurus at least, given its big size, purely out of rocks? I think it might be doable. Just gonna kill that. It seems this one's probably the best, so we can probably experiment with some others as well. But this one gets very close. Okay. So I don't think a Brachiosaurus can get through that gap. Now that gap looks a little dodgy, but if you just put a rock like there, let's kill that feeder. I feel bad, this is torture in the name of science, but I think it's worth it. And I mean, you could blend these in, you could make these look somewhat natural, just put some rock down, put some trees in, you could probably mess around with different rocks and stuff like that. It works. I don't know what else to say. It definitely works, right? The extent to how much it works, we don't know, but I think you can probably fill an entire exhibit with rocks for at least the Brachiosaurus because of its sheer size, and it would be fine. And you could even put them in slightly different places. You could probably put one like over there somewhere, bring it back a little bit, stick one over there, and Brachie's not going to get through that gap, right? I don't think so. Might get through that gap, but again, if you've got this little gap like this here, right, then maybe you just stick that right there. It's not going to get through there. That's going to be so good! I'm so excited to make a new park and try this out properly, but yeah, wow. Credit, again, to forgotten the name of it. Reply 671, because this is awesome. Right, we want to try this with some slightly smaller dinosaurs, however. You know, what's the most we can do? I think having this there... Hey, no, stop, stop! And then a big rock behind, maybe? Oh, you've just... Okay, the baryonyx is more of a problem than the brachy. I think we can make it work, but I think it might take a second. No. You can have food in a second. Right, let's have a look. Hey, there we go. It worked. It finally freaking worked. It's definitely tougher with the baryonyx, but it is doable. Whether you can string multiple rocks together is a whole other question entirely. But even just having like a gap at the back of the fence, I think is actually a pretty cool thing, right? I don't know. I like this. You can have this kind of situation where it looks like the dinosaurs have broken out, right, and the world's kind of splitting apart and all this kind of stuff, but your dinosaurs can't then go and escape. You can kind of give it the feeling of escape to dinosaurs without your dinosaurs actually roaming free. It can't get out. The grassland forest, it's tiny because this gap is there. Alright, let's see if we can... I'm suspicious about being able to do this twice, however. Well, maybe there's a certain combination of rocks. Huh? No, I didn't think that would work. No, Barry! No, Barry! Barry, no! Barry, no! Huh? Huh? Give me a minute. No! I'm just trying to capture him in this maze of stone. The point is it works a little bit. It doesn't work properly, but it works a little bit with the baryonyx. It works very well with the sauropods. You know, he's still in here. Still just starving to death. Wait, no, he's been out. I let him out, didn't I? Yes. The point is it definitely works with the baryonyx a little bit, but it's a little bit more contained. We'll have to experiment to see if there's a better way of doing it with the baryonyx. The final thing I want to test is, does it work with a Velociraptor? It's a pretty small gap. This actually looks like it could be better for the... I mean, a baryonyx is not going to fit through that gap, right? Not a chance in hell. But is the raptor? Yeah. The raptors may be too small to be contained, unfortunately. Barry's just wandering everywhere he wants to go. Can we come up with an alternative way of doing this? Maybe by adding more rocks to kind of plug the gaps like so. I suspect not, but worth a shot. No, it's not going to work, is it? The raptors are too small. I think the small dinosaurs are too small. The baryonyx is definitely containable, though. I'm just wondering, can we do it a little bit better with the baryonyx if we use the other rock that I just showed there? I kind of want to test it out. We're going to breed one more Barry and give it a go. Okay, baryonyx time. Let's just see what we can do. At the very least, it's a very cool mechanic that I will be using for my sauropods. But if we can use it for baryonyx... Quite Joe. Baryonyx, maybe T-Rexes and just other large carnivores, then... Alright, you have a ton of forest, which means this hasn't worked quite yet. You're just running for the exit, aren't you, buddy? Ah, you're a pain in the butt. Are you going through that gap? There's no way you can... Okay, so I think the baryonyx can only be kind of contained in one little gap. We're going to try just a couple other things very quickly. I'm going to release some Amenchisaurus first, just to make sure this is contained, and then we're going to release the T-Rex. It's bigger than the baryonyx. Maybe, just maybe, it won't be able to squeeze through some of those gaps that the baryonyx can. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I mentioned you take far too long to do nothing. So, excuse me folks. I've got a couple of double number 5 rocks right next to each other. I'm pretty much 100% sure that a sauropod won't be able to walk out of this, but we shall see in a second. Because they all take so long to do nothing. You're very pretty, congratulations on that, but you also take forever. Okay, yes, so this doesn't work for the... oh my god. Okay, so I decided to release 2 more dinosaurs just to give this a little test. And now this is 2 number 5s stuck together. Baryonyx can just walk out of here, as we've seen. Amenchisaurus, even if we get rid of the little fence, I believe is captured. Yes. So, no matter what, you can do this for your sauropods. And I think if you put the rocks sort of further back and in different places, you could contain them in a fairly natural and pretty cool looking exhibit. If anything, just adding more rocks sort of inside the exhibit, if that makes sense. Kind of like over here somewhere and just putting some water in there and just other things to make it just seem a little bit more natural could make the whole thing really, really come together. It's very, very cool. Put some crag in that. Big brush. Big crag. There we go. It doesn't look... I mean, if you did like a perfect square of rock, it's going to look a little funky, but I think you can make this work. One other dinosaur I want to check is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a little bit bigger than the Baryonyx. Maybe, just maybe, it's not going to have the same limitations. Otherwise, we can put all the dinosaurs in the game into 3 categories of rockiness, basically. Come on, T-Rex, be cool. You're going to be cool? Who wants to be cool? You do. You don't want to be cool. Right. Any chance that worked? It did! Okay, right. Interesting. That worked. Okay, so is it... Right. Okay, we're going to delete a little bit of fence. Okay, right, so the fence on the left is the savior fence. Okay. Well, if we get rid of that bit, does that still work? Let's find out. No, right. So I think basically the gap is this area over here. See, that does work. I mean, this is still a step in the right direction, but it's definitely not as cool as it could be. Can we make this better? Can we do something with rocks to make this work for a T-Rex? I'm not convinced, but we're going to try. That's what we're here for, folks. We're here to do some science. Rock 3 to me looks very promising. Oh no, that looked pretty good. That looked pretty good. Do some science, do some science. And then maybe just get a big one in there. You're going for it. What? Okay, it's safe to say that doesn't work. So, I think, yeah, even Momentosaurus has gone for a little run. We know we can contain the sauropods completely, but, yeah. So, I think we can safely divide the dinosaurs into 3 different groups. Sauropods, who you can contain with rocks. I'm going to do a little test of that in a second. I'm just going to try to contain a sauropod in nothing but rocks. 100% rocks. We'll do it with the Momentosaurus. Carnivores, larger carnivores, and probably larger dinosaurs like Triceratops and stuff like that. I'm going to leave some of this up to you guys. Go check it out, try it out down below. I'm going to leave some of this down to you guys. Go try it out, see what dinosaurs you can contain. But I'd imagine most of the medium dinosaurs, like the T-Rexes, the Baryonyx, maybe the larger herbivores like Triceratops, can be contained, but only in 1 rock, only by a 1 block gap. And then finally, we've got the tiny dinosaurs, which seemingly can't be contained in the slightest, basically. Okay, I mean, that is as gentle as it comes. It should still be, yeah, it's still contained, right. So, let's try to bring in the angle just a little bit more. Nope, wrong one. Just gonna stick to the same rock for now. This is the early stages of science, folks. I need you guys to pick up the mantle and carry on down the line. Oh god, that's a hell of a gap. Trying to see, I think this rock on the left has a slightly smaller radius than the one on the right, so we're going to go with that one, since we're trying to get a bit of an angle here. Okay, let's grab the fence, go over here, and then go into there. Okay. So that does curve a little bit, as you can see. It would take bloody ages to do, don't get me wrong, but see, as soon as it curves, it fails. That has failed, right there. This is a shame. I think what you could do is fence off the corners, and then let's test that out very quickly as well. So what we should be able to do is fence off a corner like so. That should be contained. Yep. And then we go back down here. Grab our rock. And then... Okay, we're going to move that a little bit over to the right.
Welcome to Jurassic World. We hope you have a safe and enjoyable stay with us.
Stop snapping. Stop it. Thank you. Do what I command you, game. Thank you very much. Eh? Still contained. Okay, so yeah, if we can find a way to get these corners to work, then we can do it. But the corners are definitely what's throwing me at the moment. You could do it like this and have rocks. It's definitely cool. It's definitely interesting, and especially with like the medium carnivores and stuff like that. And I know you can contain medium herbivores according to the Reddit post. It's very interesting. It's going to open up some doors. I don't think this is on purpose. I don't think Frontier intended this, if I'm completely honest, given how finicky it is. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what you guys can do with this. You know, go, experiment, try things out, mess around with it. I think we'll see more Reddit posts on this in the coming days. Hopefully we can unlock the key. The point is, though, you can indeed contain dinosaurs using a natural barrier, which is pretty cool, I think. I think that's pretty cool. So, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.